2020 was arguably one of the worst years that humanity witnessed, and now that it finally passed, we can remember some of the good stuff that it had to offer for us gamers. And maybe because of the number of great games that were released in that year, that we can truly remember it in a good way. So, in this video, we're going to take a quick look at my top favorite games that were released in 2020. Just a side note here, these games were not ranked from best to worst or whatever. It's just randomly picked without any particular order. Alright? Now let's jump straight into the video. Starting off with number 5 is Spider-Man Miles Morales. This is the sequel to the original Spider-Man that was released on the PlayStation 4 back in 2018, developed by Insomniac Games, and boy, let me tell ya, this game looks incredible. The visuals and the graphics are amazing, the gameplay is fast-paced, and overall the game is action-packed. You will be playing as Miles Morales, taking the role of being the new Spider-Man after his mentor, Peter Parker, left the city for whatever reason, and your main mission in this game is to regain balance and defend your city from a big, violent war between the corrupt Roxxon Energy Corporation and a high-tech army called the Underground. The game looks stunning, and I had so much fun playing it, and you definitely should give it a try if you have a PS5. Or even a PS4, but preferably a PS5, because, you'll enjoy all the smooth 60 frames per second experience and all of that. At number 5, we have Assassin's Creed Valhalla, the 12th major installment of the Assassin's Creed game series and the successor to the infamous 2018's Assassin's Creed Odyssey, an action RPG game developed by Ubisoft Montreal. This is probably the best Assassin's Creed in the last 2 or 3 major games in previous years, in my opinion. Yeah. The story, the characters, the gameplay, the visuals, it's amazing. The events of the game are set in the year 873 AD, where Ubisoft recounts a fictional story of the very famous Viking invasion of Britain. You will be playing as Ivar Varensdottir, a customizable character which you can play as a male or female, or simply let the game chooses and guides you by itself. Ivar is obviously a Viking raider who is caught up in a conflict between the Brotherhood of Assassins and the Templar Order, and the rest is history. The game is beautiful overall, and if you have the opportunity to play it, do not miss it, dude. It's available on all major platforms including PC and Stadia. Next, we have Cyberpunk 2077, and if you don't know, this game was first revealed way back in 2013 with a short trailer, and it's been on development stage since then, until it was confirmed for release on April 2020. Then it got delayed again and again due to the pandemic situation until it was officially and finally released on December 10th on all major platforms, with enhanced versions for new-gen consoles. The game had a few bugs and problems at first, but most of them were fixed thanks to the major patch that was released earlier this year. Cyberpunk 2077 looks absolutely stunning, especially on PC, with a lot of details and beautiful visuals, though it can put a bit of pressure on the graphics card and your PC performance overall, but I can say that it's so worth the money. I won't mention much about the story, but real quick, you will be playing as a customizable character named V, who can acquire skills in hacking and different stuff with combat and all. The events take place in Night City, a cyberpunk open-world universe where you can do almost anything you want. The game is out on last-gen consoles, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, but I advise you to play it on a PC, if you have what it takes to run it, of course. Next-gen consoles version is expected to be out later this year. At number 2, we've got Ghost of Tsushima, an action-adventure game developed by Sucker Punch Productions, the talented studio behind the infamous series. The game is unfortunately an exclusive to the PlayStation 4, released on July 17th of last year, 2020, featuring a beautiful open world with so many freaking details, man. You'll take a role of playing as Jin Sakai, a brave samurai on a quest to protect his island, Tsushima Island, from the Mongol enemies during their invasion of Japan between the period of 1274 to 1281. The game received praise for its stunning visuals and combat style and earned several award nominations and even sold over 5 million copies as of November of last year. The graphics looks breathtaking, especially when you're horse riding and gazing on the landscape surrounding you. The gameplay elements like the grappling hook that can ease your movements from one place to another, the soundtrack, the fighting and combat overall. I can't tell you how amazing this game looks in real life. You will have to play for yourself and enjoy the experience, dude. If you have a PS4, just go for it. Take it from me. And making our list at number 1 is The Last of Us Part 2, the very controversial game that received mixed opinions by a wide variety of people due to its violent nature and the gender issues and all of that. But we're not here to talk about that, are we? Yeah. The Last of Us Part 2 is the sequel to the original game that was released back in 2013, an action-adventure game developed by Naughty Dog, you know, the studio responsible for great games like the Crash Bandicoot series and the Uncharted games. The events are set 5 years after the first game, where you will be playing as 2 characters. Both of them are women, by the way. Each one has a different and unique story that gives you a mixture of emotions. The first one is Ellie, who at some point in the game suffers a tragedy which makes her set out for revenge, and the second one is Abby, a soldier who becomes involved in a conflict between her militia and a religious cult. The game is played as a third-person perspective and allows you to fight various types of enemies, the humankind, and the horrifying zombie creatures. I don't need to tell you that the game looks levels ahead of the competition, and if you're familiar with Naughty Dog games, then you already know that. The Last of Us Part 2 is my personal favorite game of 2020. That's right. And if you own a PS4 and you haven't played the thing yet, for whatever reason, then you're absolutely crazy. So this wraps up our video for today. So I hope it was enjoyable to you. If you like this content, please hit subscribe and hit that like button and activate that notification bell so you don't miss any future videos once they're uploaded in the future. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys in the next video. I don't know when, but yeah, I will probably be seeing you soon. Alright, thanks for watching. See ya.